Well, it's another rainy day in Arkansas, and parts of the state already feeling the impact of the stormy weather. We're taking a look at a 600-year-old tree that fell on a house in Conway this morning. The person living there was rescued by crews and is okay, which is good news. Thanks for watching. I'm Jurnee Taylor here with meteorologist Nathan Scott. From flash flooding to down trees, we're seeing a lot left behind by this latest round of storms, Nathan.
Well, this has certainly been a super soaker of a rain event in parts of the area, Jurnee, and the rain continues to fall out there right now. But look at this video coming out of Hot Springs Village. Poor drainage areas leading to some significant flash flooding right along Highway 7 for some businesses right there. And this is from Hank Hughes. On the other side of the road, more of the same. And that's because they saw so much rain through the overnight hours, and you're thinking, how much rain did they see to produce all that flooding? Well, here's the rainfall estimates on radar now, and it was a bullseye of over 7 inches of rain in that part of Garland County. No surprise why things got a little bit hectic. As you can see, lower amounts just to the north into Saline County. We still have some rain out there right now. The heavy rain has moved out of Garland County, and things are starting to dry out off to the west. Here's the back edge of the rain. The rain is picked up here in Pulaski County, but by far the heaviest rain now is going to be aimed at Jefferson County, moving into Arkansas County and locations to the east of Little Rock. You haven't seen much yet so far, but do be aware of that possibility of flash flooding issues, poor drainage areas, low-lying areas, smaller creeks and streams. Here's the bigger view now. There you see once again the back edge of the rain about to move into the metro. So things will improve here slowly but surely from west to east throughout the day. It's going to probably take all afternoon to dry things out in East Arkansas. You may see some sun in West Arkansas. I'm talking about lower rain chances Friday and into the weekend. More on that forecast coming up.
Thank you, Nathan. Well, after more than 3 years, the nation's COVID-19 public health emergency officially expires tonight. With many Americans now vaccinated against the virus, COVID deaths and hospitalizations have dropped dramatically. So what does this actually mean? Well, free tests won't be as readily available, and the CDC will no longer collect state and local data on COVID cases. The staff at the hospital that treated Arkansas's first COVID patient using this milestone to look back and look forward. Dr. Nazneen Jamal was on the front lines. She and everyone else quickly adjusted to the best way to care for ill patients. Here's what she had to say when we asked her about the change about response to COVID-19.
I think education for the community would be something I would personally do differently.
As we make this transition to ending this public health emergency, Dr. Jamal says another pandemic is unavoidable, so don't let your guard down.
I feel that we should use this transition as a point to learn from how we did things, what went right, and learn from the mistakes and plan for them.
Now, we've already talked about what's changing nationally, but here in Arkansas, local health units will continue offering COVID-19 tests and vaccines at no cost. The department will bill insurance, but if someone doesn't have it, there won't be any out-of-pocket costs. Title 42, the pandemic-era public health measure that allowed the U.S. to quickly expel migrants due to COVID-19, also expires today. But as people hope to enter the U.S., the Biden administration has put in place new rules aimed at curbing the numbers. Migrants are now required to prove they've applied for asylum online or through another country first. Violators face a 5-year ban from the U.S. and a felony charge. The White House has also announced plans to set up 100 processing centers in Central and South America in hopes of shifting asylum seekers away from the border. In other news, the Biden administration revealed a sweeping new plan to cut greenhouse gas emissions from the nation's power plants. The proposal will mark the first time the federal government has restricted carbon dioxide output from existing smokestacks, part of a major effort to fight climate change. But energy industry groups are pushing back, saying the plan will force the premature closure of coal power plants. Former President Donald Trump returned to the primetime TV spotlight last night, showing signs his 2024 re-election campaign will be a lot like the last two. Robert Costa breaks down the CNN town hall and its potential impact on the presidential race.
I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default.
In a high-stakes town hall, former President Donald Trump said Congress should allow the government to default if it can't cut a deal with the White House on spending, as a June 1st deadline to raise the debt ceiling looms.
Well, you might as well do it now because you'll do it later. And it could be very bad. It could be maybe nothing.
And on the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
The former president would not commit to continuing U.S. aid to Ukraine and would not say if he wants Ukraine to win the war.
Absolutely
Do you want
over.
Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled.
Trump also repeated his false claims of fraud in the 2020 presidential election, dodged questions on abortion, and defended his actions on January 6, as well as those who attended his rally the day the Capitol was stormed.
They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable and it was a beautiful day.
Prompting President Biden to post on Twitter the January 6 rioters were not good people. End of story. The town hall was the first time Trump faced questions since a New York civil jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation of writer E. Jean Carroll, whose claims he repeatedly denied, disparaged, and mocked.
What's happening is they're doing this for election interference. And I swear, and I've never done that, and I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a whack job.
And at a New Hampshire diner, the legal issues facing Trump don't seem to faze Republican voters like Louise Hoyt, who said she's voting for Trump.
All these legal challenges, they don't faze you.
No, because they've come up with them out of the woodwork from day one.
The future of the Republican Party is at stake.
Campaigning to beat Trump for the GOP nomination, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson told CBS News Republicans will suffer if they back Trump again.
What's your assessment of Trump's legal challenges?
All of his legal challenges are distractions from the issues that impact Americans and that candidates want to talk about.
Several Republican sources tell CBS News that Trump revealed who he is in this presidential race to both rivals and potential rivals should they decide to jump into the arena in the coming months. And some top Republican lawmakers also told us that while they would like to see Trump stumble in this contest, they do not expect to see him fade anytime soon. Robert Costa, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
A decade-long mystery solved in Garland County. Officials have identified the body found in a car in Lake Hamilton as Kerry Angel Jr., a man who vanished in 2008. The car was discovered by a fisherman in February and recovered by police a month later. They weren't able to determine a cause of death. Little Rock police are asking for your help to solve a 2021 homicide. Jackie Gibson's body was found in an abandoned building over 2 years ago. Officials are still investigating and offering a $10,000 reward to anyone who has information that can lead to an arrest. Turning now to one of the most viewed stories on THV11.com, remembering different passwords can be challenging, but a good password can be what stands between you and someone hacking into your home. One Searcy family thought their password was strong until a stranger was able to speak directly to their baby through their baby monitor. THV11's Sarah Hobakowitz explains what happened and what you should watch out for.
Like so many families, the Striplings used a Wi-Fi baby monitor to keep an eye on their child.
For the last month, he has been waking up around 10:30 every single night, and we just never really thought anything of it.
What they never expected, someone else was too.
It was at the corner of the room pointing down at the bed, and the same night that I found him whispering to Marshall, it was around the room, pointing around the room, and then went right back to him.
Stephanie immediately unplugged the monitor, but the problem actually was coming through their Wi-Fi router.
I felt so violated. We found tons of users previously signed in. I've blocked all of those. I have a list of them. And
a lot of foreign devices.
A lot of foreign
that
devices.
We don't use.
Tech expert Stephen Addison at UCA says, sadly, the problem is more common than you think.
I'm never surprised because most people aren't aware of how vulnerable the systems are.
But he says there are ways to protect yourself.
Keep it updated, change those passwords, and don't allow the remote access.
Though nothing is guaranteed, so the striplings have switched to an offline monitor, hoping other parents take a closer look at their systems.
Honestly, I want to burn it. We're not going to be using them whatsoever, and I can't resell it because I can't trust anyone.
Reporting in Searcy, Sarah Horbakowitz, THV 11 News.
A group of 5th graders is seeing how fast they can piece together shredded documents, and if they can do it, so can identity thieves. In 6 minutes, we're showing you the extra layer of protection needed to keep your private information safe and sound. And speaking of safe and sound, Nathan, should we be prepared for any severe weather?
I love the sound of rain, Jurnee, and it has been raining quite a bit. There's a potential we could see some strong storms in East Arkansas and Southeast Arkansas this afternoon into this evening. More on that forecast coming up.